Conditional statements let you control the flow of your program. They are also useful for comparing values of variables. Let's take a look at how the ever-useful if statement works. Open a new Arduino sketch and type int a equals 3 semicolon at the top. In setup, write serial.begin 9600. Under that, write if, open parentheses, a less than 5, close parentheses, open curly brace. This says to first evaluate the inequality a less than 5. If a is indeed less than 5, execute the code contained within the curly braces. So, we'll write serial.println, open parentheses, open quotation marks, it is less than 5, close quotation marks, close parentheses, semicolon. Arduino will automatically add a closing curly brace, but you should pay attention to where that curly brace appears. Make sure that the code you want executing as part of the if statement is located between the open and close curly braces. If a is less than 5, we should see it is less than 5 appear in our terminal. If a is greater than or equal to 5, then nothing will appear, as the serial.println line will not execute. Let's compile and find out. Open your serial monitor and you should see it is less than 5 appear. Try changing a to 5. What do you think will happen? If a is greater than or equal to 5, then the code inside the curly braces will not execute. Try it and see. Nothing is printed to the terminal. If we want to print something else to the terminal if a is greater than or equal to 5, then we can use the else statement. After the if statement's closing curly brace, write else, open curly brace, followed by serial.println, open parentheses, open quotation marks, it is greater than or equal to 5, close quotation marks, close parentheses, semicolon. Another closing curly brace should have been added by Arduino. Upload and check the serial monitor. You should see that we are told that a is greater than or equal to 5. Now, what if we wanted to check for different cases for when a is equal to 5 versus greater than 5? We can add an else if statement. Under the first serial.println, add close curly brace, else if, open parentheses, a equals 5, close parentheses, open curly brace. And then, in that if statement, add serial.println, open parentheses, open quotation marks, it is equal to 5, close quotation marks, close parentheses, semicolon. Why the double equal sign? Remember, a single equal sign is the assignment operator that sets the value of a variable to something. We use the double equals to show that we want a comparison between the variable a and the number 5. Remove or equal to in the third serial.println statement. Upload and run. You should see it is equal to 5 appear in the console. Now change a to 11 and upload again. You should see it is greater than 5 appear. Let's take a moment to talk about a common error. If I change the double equal sign to a single equal sign, what do you think will happen? As it turns out, this program will compile and run, but it will be different from our intent of comparing a to 5. Let's walk through it sequentially. First, we look at the first if statement. Is a less than 5? No, because a is 11, and that's greater than 5, so we skip the code in the first if statement. Then, we assign 5 to a. The part in between the parentheses for our if statement looks for a value of true or false. After assigning 5 to a, the if statement evaluates a to see if it is true or false. In C, any integer other than 0 is true, so a being 5 is considered to be true, which means our it is equal to 5 statement will run, even though we meant to compare 11 to 5. And if we print the value of a later on, we'll see that it has indeed been changed to 5 by our mistake. In conclusion, if you are having an if statement exhibit weird behavior, check your equal signs. Most often, they should be double equals. Let's review our simple program in the form of a flowchart. As our program starts, we have already defined and declared A as the integer 11. We then initialize our serial port. Next, we enter our first decision. Is A less than 5? In this case, it is not, so we move on to the next decision. Is A equal to 5? Once again, it is not, so the else statement allows us to have the program perform an action if the other if statements are false. For us, A is greater than 5, so we print that to the screen. The program, regardless of how the if statements were executed, moves to the loop function. Because there is nothing in loop, the program just sits there doing nothing forever. You can keep chaining else if statements if you wish. For example, I can add another else if A equals 6 to check if A is equal to 6. I'll need to change the print statement to it is greater than 6 in the else portion for this to hold true. Let's go back to the simple if statement. We have a few other comparison operators we can use. In addition to the double equals and less than, we have greater than, less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, and not equals. That last one causes the code in the if statement to execute if the two numbers are not equal to each other. In this case, we would need to change the phrase to it is not equal to 5. Upload and run. As to be expected, 11 is not equal to 5, so our statement prints. Finally, we have compound expressions. We can compare two or more different expressions at once in a single if statement. To combine the comparisons, we need to use the Boolean operators. First, let's create another variable, b, and set it to 2. In our if statement comparison, wrap our expression in parentheses. This isn't necessary, but it helps to show the different parts of the comparisons. Then, after the first close parentheses, write ampersand ampersand, open parentheses, b greater than 3, close parentheses. This now adds another check that needs to be performed in the if statement. If A is not equal to 5 and B is greater than 3, execute the following code. Change the serial output to true so that we know we executed our if statement. If you run this, you should not see anything printed in the serial monitor. That's because while A is not equal to 5, when we evaluate B greater than 3, that expression is false since B is 2, and the if statement is not executed. Now, we can also use the operator logical OR, which is a double vertical bar. If either or both of the expressions on the left and right of the logical OR operator are true, then the if statement executes. So, if we upload this, what do you think will happen? Yes, we see the statement printed. That's because even though 2 is not greater than 3, 11 is not equal to 5, and as long as one of those expressions is true, we get to run whatever's in the if statement's curly braces. Play around with some of the if and else statements. See if you can come up with fun new ways to create compound conditional statements using the Boolean operators.